He was living downstairs for as long as I know. Nobody really saw him. He rarely made a sound, even when we as children would go and try to make fun of him. He would go out only in the evening, and I could only see him from behind as he was wearing this oversized black coat as if he was covered with shadow. My parents did not pay much attention to him. They just repeated that he was not dangerous, and it was all that mattered. I wanted to know more. One night he was going out to get some groceries. He always bought his groceries from the store at the end of the street that was open till 11 p.m. He caught me looking at him one night. He looked straight back at me with his black eyes and youthful face. I froze, but he just smiled and waved. I waved back and closed the curtain. I tried avoiding him from that day onward, and it was not until my parents bought a house in the suburbs and moved that I saw him. I met him on the stairs, and he greeted me in a friendly voice. His eyes are still black, and his face is still very youthful. He looked as if he did not age. The way he moved and greeted me uncovered this gentle soul. Even though it is extraordinary, he did not age. I went home that evening and said a prayer for him. Short prayer but honest as ever since I was a little kid. When I see somebody humble, I pray for them, so they make it in this roughness of the world. The following morning my neighbor showed up and knocked on the door. He did not have black eyes, and he was laughing and hugging me before I could even properly open the door. We had our morning tea, and he would stop every few minutes to admire the brightness of the day. I usually put curtains on, but I left them open for him. He was born in 1739 and was a respected businessman who dealt with shipping goods from South America, sugar, and such. He built it up himself and wanted to marry this girl who broke his heart by sending him a letter that she did not want to see him. He sunk into a depression so deep that he could not move for days. After that, he sold his business and invested all he could in real estate, earning passive income from tenants to feed on his depression. He locked himself in this house on the bottom floor and decided to rent everything else. It hit me that he was this mysterious landlord from whom mother and father rented this place. 10 years into the depression, his eyes turned black, and he stopped aging. He stopped feeling sad but did not feel anything else either. He became what we know as a vampire. I always thought it takes a vampire to make another vampire? All nonsense. Vampires do not drink blood. This is all conspiracy, but right and wrong are just like something written on a piece of paper, and there is no feeling to back it up, which is why many keep going astray. I kept my Bible close all these years and tried following it best I could. He could read minds and hear thoughts from far away. It was a difficult life, but he stopped hearing them this morning as the only voice he could hear was my short prayer for him. He started feeling again. Overnight, he transformed back into a human but still not complete human as he could still hear minds and thoughts, but that comes from such old age as he was now almost 300 years old. From that day onwards, I could not see a lot of him. He kept traveling and reacquainting himself with the world. He said he was going to try and save others like him. Every month or so, he would bring new friends when he returned from his trip. Seeing him live his newfound life made me think about my own.